It's Rick Rock, and I'm here with Frank Hannon from Tesla. Thank you, man, for being on the show today.
Rick Rock, it's great to be here, buddy. It's great to be rocking the airwaves and being alive and rocking all these years later with Tesla, man. It's great. I really appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Now, I'm glad you said that, because your first album, Mechanical Resonance, released December of '86. And, what's that journey been like from then until now for you and the band?
Well, I'll tell you what, rock and roll is definitely a roller coaster, and there's a lot of waves. And, I've been thinking about this a lot now. You asked that question. I've been thinking about it, and I've come to the idea that it's like every 10 years, there's a wave, okay? And for any band, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, whatever, like the first 10 years, man, you're freaking riding the big wave, man. And if you're lucky, you have some hits and you establish yourself. And then you get all kind of burned out and break up and cause all these problems. And then you spend the next 10 years trying to make a comeback. And then if you're lucky, you have another wave of developing your comeback, and then you ride another way. And that's how it's been for Tesla. We've had a lot of 10-year runs, and we're pushing into our 40th year coming up. I mean, if you go back to when we got together in 1983, the bass player Brian Wheat and myself, we started the band right out of high school. And so, we're pushing the 40-year mark. So we've ridden a lot of waves of ups and downs, I'll tell you. A lot of crazy things.
That's awesome. Well, I got to tell you, we're getting fired up for your upcoming show at the CAC in Williamsport. Now, that show is Tuesday, April 25th. Now, after all these years and the many concerts that you guys have put on, what is one of your favorite songs you enjoy playing from then and even to today?
Well, Tesla, in my humble opinion, wrote some songs that ended up being timeless. Sure. Jeff Keith, our singer, really put a lot of heart and thought into his lyrics. And Modern Day Cowboy is a song that rocks. It has a killer guitar riff, and the lyrics are still relevant, talking about the USA and the USSR and how we all still got our six guns by our side.
Yeah.
So Modern Day Cowboy is definitely one of my favorites. And it was also the first single we ever put out on Headbangers Ball back in 1986. Okay.
Well, that leads me to this question. Now, in the 90s, you did a cover, live and in studio, Signs. And yes. I'm curious, out of all the covers that you could do, why that song?
Well, that song was very dear to, again, our singer, Jeff Keith. He loved the lyrics.
Yeah.
And there's lyrics, we had learned the song, and we would go visit radio stations like your station that you're sitting in right there, and we would play acoustic. And we just so happened to be not too far from you in Boston.
Okay.
And we were playing some acoustic renditions of our songs on a day off at a radio station in Boston. And we had been noodling around with Signs because of the words. Mm-hmm. Jeff loved the words. And it became an instant hit for us. The phones were ringing off the hook. I don't know if you still take phone calls or not. But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is that a big part of radio?
It still is.
Yeah. So when we left town, apparently the phones were ringing off the hook saying, hey, what's that new Tesla song? It became a hit for us, and we ended up recording a live album in Philly called the 5-Man Acoustic Jam, and then the rest was history.
That's awesome, man. It's a great story. And listen, I have something I want to share with you, okay? Mark the Shark, one of our station owners, wanted me to show you this and see if you recognize it, okay? Here we go. Okay. Check this out. Here we go. Tell me if you can see that.
Oh, yeah. I see that it's a gold album, but it's got Psychotic Supper.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That hangs.
Heyday, man. We were at the top of our game at that point with songs like Edison's Medicine and What You Give. You asked me about some of my favorite Tesla songs.
Yeah.
What You Give is probably one of my favorites to play live, and we still do it every show.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you, for all the upcoming events. I mean, you guys are still doing your thing. You're still putting shows on. What is the best way for fans to follow you guys now?
Well, obviously, to be listening to a radio station like yours and be tuning in to that. But if you're on social media, go to Tesla the Band official, Frank Hannon. That's me, HANNON official, and look for the blue check mark. That way you know it's not a fake scammer.
Yeah. Yes. Glad you mentioned that. So blue check mark. Well, excellent.
www.teslatheband.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you again for being on the show, Frank. I appreciate it very much. And, we're looking forward to seeing you Tuesday, April 25th at the CAC in Williamsport, my friend. So thank you.
Williamsport. Looking forward to it, April 25th. Hey, really quick, I want to show you something really cool.
Yes, please, please, please.
This is very special guitar here. This is a brother-to-brother Dickie Betts SG guitar.
Wow.
And he's been playing it. And if you see back there, it says prototype on it. And it's a very cool SG guitar, which is still my favorite. SGs are still my favorite.
That's awesome, man. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right.
That's a bonus there for your watchers and listeners.
I appreciate that, Frank, very much, man. Can't wait to rock out with you, brother.